There's been a lot of reaction from the international community coming in following the military strike. I just want to get to a couple of them that have been posted most recently. The UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres calling the attacks a dangerous escalation in a region already on edge and a direct threat to international peace and security. Again, we reported a short time ago that the UN Security Council is going to be holding an emergency meeting. As the Secretary General warns, there is a growing risk this conflict could rapidly get out of control with catastrophic consequences for civilians, the region, and the world. In addition, the European Union's chief diplomat echoed that message, urging all sides to step back and return to the negotiating table while emphasizing that Iran must not be permitted to develop a nuclear weapon. Let me bring in Hala Ghorani, NBC News foreign correspondent, who is in London for us today, and talk about what is going to be happening tomorrow, because Iran's foreign minister says he's going to be meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin. Talk about the significance of this meeting and what message Tehran is hoping to send with the visit.
Well, Abbas Araghchi, the Iranian foreign minister, Chris, will be heading, as you mentioned, to Moscow to meet with the Russian president. Those two countries have enjoyed a very close strategic partnership now for several decades. Iran has been the ally of Russia in its efforts to support the regime of Bashar al-Assad in Syria, for example. Iran supplied Russia with drones in its war with Ukraine. That being said, it's an open question what the Iranian foreign minister will get out of it, because Russia also enjoys a pretty close relationship with Israel itself. I think this is just an effort to present a united front with Russia, and at a time when the Iranian regime is really on the back foot. Clearly, its nuclear program set back many years, if not decades, and a large part of its military and strategic leadership decimated in that initial series of attacks by Israel, those attacks that started on June 13th. So this is kind of a way to present this unified front with a very powerful regional ally, regional in Europe, Russia. Whether or not it's going to end in some sort of commitment by Russia to help Iran militarily. Iran just does not have any good options right now. If it attacks U.S. assets directly, it is guaranteeing that it will be faced with a devastating retaliatory strike by the United States. And right now, it seems as though the primary concern for Iran, Chris, is regime survival at this stage. That being said, as one of your guests, I believe it was Trita Parsi earlier said, don't discount them. Iran is known for what's called strategic patience. They could be licking their wounds now and preparing, the terrain and the groundwork for something in the future that would go beyond just preserving their life in Iran, the regime itself. We know that after Iraq, for example, the consequences and the ripple effects were numerous and lasted years. This is a fundamental reshaping and reshifting of the Middle East alliances. And what will happen in the coming years, obviously, is still very much open to question.